We're going to start off with AOC and Ilhan. Now, we haven't talked about the squad in a while because, frankly, there's a lot more important things happening. RT did not mention them once today, and we had a very busy day today. So much going on. But in the U.S., of course, this is where the focus is because they're supposed to be the revolutionaries. I can't even say that with a straight face. They're supposed to be the progressives at the least, right? They're supposed to be the ones that are leading the charge, that are bringing down the house, that are, bringing the ruckus is what she said in the beginning. I'm bringing the ruckus. And literally they're doing nothing, none of the sort. But I do want to point out something that I don't think I put it in the folder, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. The entire squad and the entire Democratic Party, of course, the usual Marjorie Taylor Greene and all of these Republicans voted no, but AOC and every Democrat voted to expand NATO. They voted yes to include Finland and Sweden. These two were never supposed to be included in NATO. They were supposed to be neutral because of the closeness with Russia's border. It was part of a deal. Russia sees that as an escalation, and we're going to talk more about Russia. But if Finland and Sweden come in and there's weapons on their border, Russia's going to act, and then that is a cause for concern. Now, nobody's talking about that really, except the same people that always talk about foreign policy. But AOC, of course, saw this opportunity to continue protesting for supposedly abortion rights is this action, right? And so let's just go ahead and show the pictures. So here's some pictures. Here's the first tweet. And this was the original video that was put out. Now, this was from Douglas Fair. He said AOC has just been escorted by police from the Supreme Court. So that's where the protest was. So let's go ahead and watch this video, and then we're going to break it down a little bit, okay?
Oh my
Poor AOC, look at her.
The squad is taking one for the team. They're so courageous. Serious? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You can't be. Are you friggin' serious? Every time I see it, I can watch that 10 more times today, fam, and I'm gonna say the same thing again and again and again. Are you serious? I mean, is that where we're at now? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Well, so the cops were never that nice when it was a Julian Assange protest, when they were threatening to arrest, or when it was the force the vote.
Yep.
They were like ready to, they were not like that. And of course, when the LAPD arrested Jonny and I for journalism and filming.
The crime of journalism.
They were not nice, actually. They were very forceful, putting us against the wall.
Moved in quickly.
Literally, my wrists were literally so hurt. I had sores, so did Jonny. I mean, they just didn't care. They were
on you
trying
guys.
to take away. They broke some of our equipment.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's really, and that wasn't even a protest. It's not like I was protesting. We were just filming and covering it during the George Floyd protests. And we're still engaged in a class action lawsuit where Jonny is I forget what it's called, but he's one of the main people. And so that is the way police treat you if you're a civilian, essentially, or if you're media, because that day even CNN, I think, got arrested. But that is not how AOC was treated, number one, and we're going to go over why, because guys, it was a PR stunt. It was staged. It's not a real thing. So you guys can see the pictures. Dr. Fishbones really zoomed in on this. So there's AOC. You guys can see where he says he pretended to be arrested and handcuffed. It's the most AOC moment of her career, which it is, because this is what she does. She's done it several times now.
They could have invented real invisible handcuffs and we just can't see it. I heard the Emperor's got new clothes. You can't see them either. So I don't know.
And it's not even about the lack of handcuffs as more as everything else plus that. Because some moron yesterday was like, oh, Bernie Sanders wasn't handcuffed when he got arrested. Yeah, dude, but they're literally pushing the guy, and there's a whole plethora of information of him protesting. Like he was saying, oh, it's misogyny because these people hate women.
Oh, really?
How am I supposed to hate women? I'm a woman. I don't.
Sam, do you hate yourself? Do you hate yourself? Let me know, fam.
I mean, sometimes, fam. That's for another stream, you know. But this is just ridiculous what they're claiming, her sycophants, right? So you guys can see in the pictures, her from the side, putting her hands behind her back. Now, do they ask you sometimes put your hands behind your back? Yes. But they usually ask you that so they can either zip tie you or handcuff you. They don't just ask you to put your, most of the time. Now, you can see her, she is not at all zip tied or handcuffed or anything like that, okay? So now, I believe this is the next one. Oh, yes. So in addition to AOC, because it wouldn't be fair to just pick on her, if Ilhan was doing this too. So Ilhan's doing the same thing. Let's just play Ilhan. And in the same way, it's hilarious. She's not even this is a joke. This is a joke. This is hilarious. This is where we're at in the United States. We got Biden and these people.
She got up herself and walked away, and then she puts her hands behind her back, and then she goes at the very last second, yeah.
Yeah, nobody is like going after her. I mean, we've seen Pasta. We've been to a lot of these protests. We've seen how cops treat protesters. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but they're not like, oh, hey, you go, just walk over there. I mean, the nicest cops, if you weren't a protester, if you know, when Pasta was like, hey, how you doing, officer, in Beverly Hills, were okay. They were like, oh, hi, sir, blah, 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 because they saw he wasn't a protester. But other than that, like they're not that amicable when they think you're a threat to the system or you're some sort of opposition. I thought, you know, this is right after Pasta. She talked about January 6th, right? And all of this stuff. It's just hilarious that she's there getting handcuffed or getting pretend handcuffed and putting on this whole just theater. I mean, I think Shauna Bertley or somebody was like, oh, no, that it was Sky Daddy. She was like, she's a true thespian. She's really committing to her role, fam. And I think AOC is giving you a run for her money.
Maybe we can
when it comes to acting
class together. Maybe me and AOC can be acting scenes and stuff like that. You know, do the Meisner drill. Yeah. I am. What were they used to say? Those stupid drills. Oh my god.
She's really dedicated to her performance, and so I said, let me pretend to be arrested and handcuffed so everyone can forget I just voted to expand NATO, an essential terrorist CIA organization promoting coups and regime changes. Look over here, because literally she just did that, and all her sycophants are completely ignoring that aspect or saying, well, there's nothing wrong with voting Finland and Sweden. They have the right to their own sovereignty.
Do they really say that?
NATO, they do say that. That's their reasoning.
Ridiculous.
NATO is a terrorist organization. NATO is there to literally expand and overthrow democratically elected leaders and democratic governments, actual democratic governments, or at least people-supported governments, put their own puppets in there and continue to expand the war machine, saying that, you know, led by the United States and the UK, obviously. And the United States and the UK have an upper position in this whole thing because they're not the ones that are so as close to Russia as the EU. And the EU is sinking far quicker than anybody else in terms of Europe because of this. So like when you talk about, oh, they have the right to join NATO, NATO is basically a national security apparatus. It's like if you say you hate cops, NATO is like, they're literally ensuring the interests of the 1%. So I don't understand how you can justify NATO's existence or what NATO's doing. But of course, we started calling this out early on. Anybody with a brain and with AOC's history, where she was crying about the kids in cages with the photo shoot, where she was pretending she was supporting the union workers for the photo ops, if you guys recall, with the rent situation that Franco caught and Max Blumenthal and all of that. They all have done this. This isn't the first time, guys. We've been pointing them out for a while now. We've been screaming. We are saying these people are fake. They're the fraud squad. They're the squat, as Misty calls them. They're really just there to bring people in to the establishment, bring these progressives into the establishment. They are COINTELPRO, as Cynthia McKinney said, who, by the way, is having an interview with Franco. And so that is their role. That is what they're supposed to do. They're Instagram influencers, like Steve loves to call AOC, and that's exactly what she is. Because guys, look at this. This was so staged. There is Jeremy Slevin, okay, and he says members of Congress, including Ilhan Omar, will be participating in a civil disobedience at the Supreme Court, potentially including arrests, shortly after 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. Okay, so and then CPD Action is live streaming it. Follow along. Who is CPD Action? We're going to go over who that is. And of course, Robbie Receipts comes in, right? Robbie Receipts. He says, here's Representative Ilhan Omar's communications director, because that's who he is, basically confirming that the arrests were a staged publicity stunt, just like we've been saying, coordinated in part with billionaire-funded dark money group Center for Popular Democracy. Okay, that is a fact. That is a fact that there's this billionaire-funded dark money Soros funded, and it is Soros backing this event. And of course, when civil disobedience. So what's the point? You're just gonna, you're gonna get arrested as a Congress arrested. They weren't arrested, dude. They weren't arrested. They were escorted, and they made it look like they were arrested. They weren't arrested. And so that's that, fam. And before I let you comment on this, I just want to put Misty's tweet here. PR photos dropped, and you can see, of course, it's on the front page of every mainstream media. Oh, look at the squad. And then the Republicans can go, oh, look at these, blah, blah, blah. But the Republicans are making fun of them. They're like, look, they're pretending to get arrested. And it just increases that sort of tit for tat situation. And she said, wonder if they also coordinated with Central Casting. I love how she said that, because I have memories of Central Casting. Yeah, let me tell you, Central Casting is huge, and I bet you they could coordinate with Central Casting, because it's fucking hilarious. Like, yeah, this is fam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look through this whole thing really quick and try to see if I can find anybody out there talking about the squad. Immediately go to Facebook and start looking for it, whatnot. But I mean, what some people don't understand when they start talking about, oh, it's okay for Finland and Sweden to join NATO. Don't they realize, fam, that it's just another step closer to World War III? That we are by doing this, we're instigating and we're poking the bear, the actual bear of a nuclear power, by continuing to put missiles and other weapons on the border. And we've heard what they said. This is a new dawn. This is a new day. The Russian Federation is not going to take this line down. They're going to be way more aggressive. So when you see these countries joining for no reason whatsoever, there's no reason why we need them to join. All we're doing is drawing lines in the sand and let's go. And it is scary, but it's even more scary, the fact that a lot of people who continue to praise the squad, and they'll make excuses just to find reasons to justify them being right or okay or good or a positive thing from the squad. And that doesn't fall short of them even pushing tactics that lead us closer to World War III, just because they have this sycophancy of And then they also digress back to and keep, hitting that same lies. Well, fam, it's better than the other side. It's better than the Republican side. We're mitigating damage. We have to support the squad. They are more in line with our values. No, they're not. Look what they're doing, guys. Look what they're doing. They are phony as can be. They will never, ever really fight for you. They are there. They're the new Democrats of the future. That's what they are. And a bunch of shit libs that are phonies bought off and will never be there when we need them most. They won't be there when we need them least. They're never there. That's the song by...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, fam, but that's their role. They're doing what they were elected to do by the establishment. I mean, that's it, you know. They're not elected, or they're not doing anything for the people. Oh, there's only six leftists. No, there's not. There's supposedly 100 people in the Progressive Caucus. They don't do shit either. Yeah, they're voting with neocons. These people are all voting with neoliberals and neocons, and they say they're different. Well, I'm sorry, but I guess foreign policy doesn't matter to you. But as we have been saying on this show for a long time, foreign policy is our domestic policy. And this conflict between Russia and Ukraine, or this war that we are trying to wage with Russia using Ukraine, is really showing that reality. Now, just to finish up that point about this being a staged event, Faux New York Finch said this a while ago, had posted about if you guys remember the incident of this woman, Ana Maria Archilia, who was confronting Senator Jeff Flake in the elevator. This person got $12 million annually for the Center for Popular Democracy from George Soros. And so this is, well, I think that they met that the association gets that much, but this CPD, Center for Democracy, Popular Democracy, is notorious for staging events and for pushing certain things to make things like this. And if you guys do recall that elevator situation, this isn't the first time they've done that. So I just wanted to point that out. And Steve's tweet, somebody said, Blue Check Bet said, caption this photo. Steve said the pretenders. Because that's exactly what they are. They're pretenders. They're pretending to be Congress people, but really we know who they are. We know what they are. We know that they're useless. We just saw, right, AOC's catcalling situation where she just went off on this guy, and the guy was an idiot, right? But at the same time, drawing attention to herself, drawing drama instead of focusing on legislation. I put out a video yesterday sort of going over that. And this last part, before I say a couple things, you guys can see she's trying to fundraise off of this, and so will the rest of them, and so will the rest of Democrats, like they've been doing off of the Roe v. Wade situation. Alexandria was just arrested. They're lying, guys. They're lying. She wasn't arrested. I want to see an arrest report if she was arrested. Let's see. Let's see her little ticket. Let's see. I just want to see. I want to see if she was arrested, because if she's not arrested, you got her communications team and her entire whatever team pushing emails that are lying to the people saying she was arrested. And why are they doing that? Because they want your money. They want people's money. You know what the worst part is? Oh, they don't take corporate money. No, they take your money. They take poor people's money, which pisses me off even more, because I guess, you know, at least the corporate Democrats are like, okay, yeah, we're going to take money from these corporate idiots. But you're literally giving your money to people who say, oh, we don't take corporate money, so we're not corrupt. No, you're just as corrupt. You're just now stealing from poor people and people who are dumb enough to still believe in you after this whole time. We've been telling them. And by the way, I'm mad that Pasta and I took that long that we even supported her, that we fundraised money for her. Because it came up on my phone, these pictures from 2017. Yeah, 2017. And I'm just like, wow. Like, I'm mad at myself for even thinking that there was a possibility this person was honest. And immediately when we started noticing it, we were careful about how we said it, because, oh, these people would come and attack us. And then, of course, there came the point where we were like, okay, who gives a fuck anymore? Because this person is a fraud. This person is a fake. It's just, you know, we had to say it, but it's dishonest at this point. It's actually not even, it's just stupid to really think this person is anything but a fake. And just Pasta, I'm going to hand it to you. But the last thing I want to say is the good thing is they have shown their whole ass This is an unmasking moment, I think, because I've even seen people who normally don't criticize her be like, okay, this is a lot. And they're doing this on their own. They're completely exposing themselves. And I think, I mean, it's late now in the game here, but guys, come on. I mean, I don't know what else you need. Yeah. Her votes. I mean, this is just, it is so obvious how fraudulent these people are. The fraud squad is right.
You know what? There's not a lot I could say really to add to the whole situation. So I just would like to really quickly read that beautiful little thing that just came up, that little fundraiser. Alexandria was just arrested by the Capitol Police outside the Supreme Court during abortion rights demonstrations. Please pledge a contribution of $3 to abortion access groups right now to show Congress we stand with AOC and hashtag we won't back down. Contribute $3 now. Just hit the button. We already have your.
It's just $3. It's just $3, right? Just $3. Yeah, $3 from one poor person, and here's another and another and another. Oh no, it's 15 because of Bernie. And by the way, I just got to say this too. It's an insult to people who are actually arrested and who have suffered at the hands of police violence, unlawful arrests, who are actually out there in the streets protesting for whatever cause they're protesting, who really actually care about doing shit and making changes. Is an insult to those people when you're literally putting on a Broadway spectacle with cameras and media there. Kim Kardashian is more honest than her. I mean, this is like somebody hiring a paparazzi and saying, take my picture. Literally. I mean, I expected from Hollywood, I expected from celebrities. I'm not supposed to expect it from politicians, right? But I guess politicians are Hollywood. I think Samira Khan said something controversial where she was like, DC is Hollywood for ugly people. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that, but what I'm saying is great. Like, I think it's funny that, I mean, they're all actors, right? They're all actors.
You know, Oz, I just put down, I don't know, I think it's appropriate too as well. In slide 21, I don't know if you can do a quick cowboy, but I know we need to see Cori Bush. You tell me, fan, you've been arrested. You've been put in cuffs before. You tell me if you could do this stuff if you got arrested for covering something. This is just hysterical. You know what I'm saying? And she even put down Cori Bush. She even retweeted out, the Supreme Court will not stop us, even though they arrested us. We won't stop our organizing, agitating, and legislating for justice. We got us. We got us. Where's Jabal Bauman? Why isn't he there? But let's take a look at Cori Bush jumping up and down. You tell me if you can do this if you got arrested. This is just phony.
Was a thing. I thought we wanted to defund the police. Oh no, we're gonna give them money instead. Oh, I thought we were, against war. Oh no, we're gonna continue voting for the Israeli military dome. I thought we were gonna really protest. Oh no, we're gonna use the cops to get us up. And by the way, Pasta, to answer your question, if they were actually congressional leaders getting arrested, they would have to go through the whole procedure. They would have to get booked. They would have to go this. They would at least get a citation of sorts. And they would, they could be potentially lose their job, get in trouble. Okay, imagine if Marjorie Taylor Greene was protesting for gun rights or for the Second Amendment. Do you think these people would be so proud that they were getting arrested? Like, they would look at it differently, right? It's just hilarious that they think that this is real, because it's obviously just complete and total fabrication. If they were really getting arrested, like I said, they could potentially lose their job. They would have to go through the whole process. It's not a thing, guys. It's just hilarious. Oh my God.
Guess what the tweet was before she shared that her jumping moment, her getting arrested? It was Mark Ruffalo. She retweeted what Mark Ruffalo tweeted. Hey, everyone. It's a picture of her standing and says donate on the thing. Cori Bush is in a tight primary race against a very corporate Democrat. We already have plenty of them, and there's only one Cori Bush fighting for the rest of us. Let's all chip in and send her some funding love. Hey, Mark, why don't you go scratch and send some of your Hulk money? All right, you sell out. And before that too as well. And when you want to talk like Cowboys and Indians, red team, blue team, if you look at her freaking campaign video on her thing, it's just ridiculous. You know, putting down that they have to pay for the insurrection, the Republicans putting up Marjorie Taylor Greene and Josh Hawley and stuff like that. It's like the ultimate psyop of divide and conquer, putting one people in red team, blue team, and then you get your freaking Hollywood actors coming in and
because it's all Hollywood. They're all putting on an act. And by the way, and guess what?
I was saying maybe Mark Ruffalo helped Cori with that acting over there. Sorry.
Maybe. Yeah, no, but the thing is, the right does the same thing. They fundraise off of these morons, and they're like, "Look, they're faking blah blah blah. But donate to us. We're gonna do this and that." That's what America is. I mean, it's just one grift after the other, one performance after the other. That's why we had Donald Trump, and now we have this moron who can't even remember what day it is, where he's at. It's just, we're a running joke, and being outside of it and seeing it, it just really makes me sad for the American people, really. I mean, but also, you know, get your shit together, guys. Get these people out of there. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. The rest of the world, as I said in my short video, is literally out there ousting leaders. They're saying, get the hell out because you're not doing us any favors. What is the U.S. doing? Well, they're protesting for this, or they're like making fun of you know, like the fact that, you know, where we're at because they're too poor and they can't deal with the situation. I mean, this is where we're at. And the subway, go look at the New York subway right now. Jesus Christ.